Okay, look, I've been debating reacting to this because I watched this, or at least a clip, I think, of this encounter between based Warren Smith and this. But I'm like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream. So I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna react to it. I can't do it, guys, because I'm gonna flip the table. I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna. But then I figured it out, guys. I figured it out. I figured out a way for me to do the react and not smash everything because of the idiocy of this lunatic ideologue imbecile. See? And I didn't even push play because we're checking out Amalek Punovi reacting to it. She's nice. She brings a smile to me. So that's maybe how I'm going to manage to do it.
I'm just going to say this and you can debate it. You can't be racist against white people. I'm just going to say this and you can debate it. You can't be racist against white people.
Clown!
You can be prejudiced against white people. Racism implies a power imbalance.
Where'd you learn that?
All right, she started a debate on racism that she guaranteed was not ready for. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's go destroy her. Well, already Warren has destroyed her, by the way. But now we're gonna do a double combo.
Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're reacting to a video that I saw go viral on X featuring Warren Smith. Now, he's a former teacher, and shout out to him. He has a YouTube channel. I've watched some of his content. You guys should go.
He's awesome.
And subscribe. Now, he gets into a debate with a woke reporter on racism and DEI, and I do fear
Tomatoes, same thing, same difference.
that he bodies her, okay? And he's no stranger to debating these topics. I think he actually got fired as a teacher for speaking out on some of these topics and some of the cultural issues and the...
He was actually, I'll tell you why, he was fired because he was trying to teach critical thinking to his students rather than the propaganda that the school had intended.
The woke mumbo jumbo of today. So now we're going to watch him debate a woke reporter.
Destroy, not debate, destroy. Debate would mean that there is at least a certain similar level of intellectual capability which we don't have.
And I have a feeling I already know how this goes.
Thank you.
Let's watch.
I'm just going to say this and you can debate it. You can't be racist against white people. You can be prejudiced against white people. Racism implies a power imbalance.
Where'd you learn that?
That's just how it is.
It's just how it is. Oh, that's just how it is. Actually, no. Well, systemic is a possible manifestation of racism. But racism, the core meaning, is not one of its possible... I'll address it further on. I'll go. Let them speak. I'll destroy it.
There's no way to arrive to that.
What happened? You say it's just how it is.
I love that. Where'd you learn that? That's just how it is. Now, guys, I'm going to give you some lore on me. You all know I used to be a super, super big leftist. This was all throughout middle school, all throughout high school.
Man, I had no idea. Well, nobody's perfect.
And then subsequent of that, I sort of ended up waking up and changing my mind on a lot of things. Now, back in high school, I had two friends, and they happened to be more conservative-leaning friends, and I hated them for it, okay?
Of course, out there then.
And we one day got into an argument about racism against white people, and they were arguing with me saying, absolutely, you can be racist towards white people. It does exist. I got so mad and so upset over this that I don't think I spoke to these girls for like 2 days. And mind you, these are like my best friends now in adulthood. So I was this insufferable type of person.
No, I don't think you were that level inside. Even when you were your leftist moment, I swear you were not. You were surely nicer and much more tolerable than this. What the fuck is this? Because this is the result of the modern type of propaganda that is amplified. This is like brainwashing of the... She is like high-level tier.
And she's being a little bit kinder than I would have been back in the day about a conversation like this. But I stood 10 toes down on the...
Oh yeah, Warren is a monkey morphine.
...idea that you could not be racist towards white people because it has to be systemic in nature and white people are in power and they have so much privilege that it's impossible to be racist towards them. And where did I get that idea from? Of course, the woke atmosphere around me, but I probably would have given an answer similar to this.
Yeah, but you see, that's the difference. You got it from the woke atmosphere around you, perhaps internet, a few friends of yours. This lady was indoctrinated into this in academia. University creates this now. That is completely different, right?
It's just like that. It just is.
That is.
So
I'm
when
sorry.
people say, well,
Are you?
black people have to
You should be.
use separate water fountains, because that's just how it is. I'm sorry.
If that's how you want to take it, that's how you want to take
I mean, he's absolutely right. He gave an excellent example.
It just is.
it. That is.
So
I'm
when
sorry.
people say, well, black people have to use separate water fountains, because that's just how it is. I'm sorry.
If that's how you want to take it, that's how you want to take it.
And you don't think you can advance any more on that?
I really don't want to.
You heard it here first, folks. That's
Yeah, she does. You go for years and years of academic instruction. Like, can you imagine if you're like because, oh my gosh. Imagine if you are a nuclear scientist, an engineer, robotic engineer, someone who understands high-level linguistics, and you ask them to explain something that they have studied for years, right? Because it takes a few years to get graduated. And they're like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to know because you didn't accept it. It's a dogma. There's nothing to do with education, science, nothing. It's a dogma. It's a religion, and a false one at that.
just how it is, and I don't want to talk about it any further. This girl's a reporter. She shouldn't be able to report. There's no integrity in a statement like this. And
thank you.
mind you, she came up with the debate topic. She came to him and said, let's speak about this issue, and is now landing on that's just how it is.
Because she thinks she can instruct. That's how it works, right? At university, they don't prepare. I swear, these days, unless it's a very technical, hard science topic at university, that's a separate thing, or like maybe languages, because you actually learn to speak and then you get yourself into the real world and you have a conversation, translate. But all of these like gender ideology degrees and all of this philosophy and this shit that they are doing, it doesn't prepare you for the real world in any way, shape, or form. In other words, any person who is right now watching and you have middle school degree, didn't even do high school, you know, but you went to work, you did a job, you got a career, you learned a skill, you know the real world a million times more than these buffoons. That cretin of a woman thinks that the real world functions like the current woke-infested classrooms at university where you are preached. You're told this is how it is, and everybody accepts it. So she thinks the real world is going to function the same way. She's going to tell Warren what she thought was going to happen. She's going to sit down, I'm going to just tell you how it is, not systemic. So she says that, and then Warren is supposed to say, oh, I see, I understand, thank you for that. And then she'd be like, now apologize for being white, and it's like, I apologize for being right. That's what she thought was going to happen. But it didn't, because Warren is a very intelligent individual, a very good speaker, and he destroyed her, and that's when she panicked. That was an actual system shutdown right there. So now immediately is, oh, he's a bigot. Oh, he's a racist. And so she doesn't want to talk anymore.
Okay.
I wanted to get this out quickly because this is one of the most important interactions I've ever caught on camera. I was at a student summit speaking to students. A reporter sat down who was covering the event.
When people are talking about DEI, they're specifically talking about trying to achieve specific outcomes.
Yes.
Right.
So you said I don't think it logically works.
Okay. Well, that's... I couldn't do it, guys. I would do this to her. You do understand it. Like, if I was sitting down, I'd be like, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. They wouldn't last 15 seconds with me because I would be so insufferable. Never mind her. She's insufferable. But me? Oh, my gosh.
I tried to point out to her that DEI inevitably is racist.
Of course.
Logically. There's no way around it.
Because I think it's the only...
That's why they changed the definition, by the way, because it is racism. And so since they're pushing these racist ideologies, then they have to be like, wait, but you've been saying that racism is bad for the last 20 years, so what do we do now? Oh, but it's not racist because we changed the definition. That's what we do. That's semantic shift. We took one of the possible divergent branches of racism, meaning the systemic version, and we swapped it with the original core definition of the word. So now, if it's not systemic, it's not racism, you clowns.
only example of systemic racism anyone's been able to provide to me.
It's not systemic racism against you.
How?
Everyone deserves a chance to speak and a chance to kind of be out there. We are only as good as representing everyone in their nation. It's not just white men. It's not just rich people. We need every single voice there.
So it'd be equal opportunity, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
they are not for equality. We are for equality. They are for equity. Equity is diabolical. diabolical.
But equity is
thank
equal
you.
outcome.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a different word. That's why we have a
Yes,
different
but
word.
we should be fighting for equality and equity.
You can't do both.
Impossible, mutually exclusive. Exactly. Thank you, man. I swear, these people, her, Warren, are the people that give me like hope for humanity. Hope for humanity.
You can't have this like equal opportunity landscape where everybody's represented and also be controlling the outcomes for any given thing. Think of college, think of jobs, think of entertainment.
Think of law enforcement when they say we need to have the equity of results. When you treat so no one is, it's not about everyone is the same under the law.
Where DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is heavily being pushed. If you are controlling the outcome, then you are not giving equal opportunity. That's why equality and equity are two different words.
Not only they're two different words, but they are mutually exclusive. They're not even like that they have some overlap. There is zero overlap when you tell me, oh, you really wanted this position for this job? I'm so sorry. This position, you have to be LGBTQ. Two-spirited, in fact. Otherwise, sorry. I'm like, but I worked for it. My degree, my qualifications are 10 times better than this other person. Just because this person said they identify. Yeah, that's exactly it.
But let's see if she can get there on this one with him.
No.
Okay.
It's both sides of the coin.
But if equity's, am I misunderstanding equity?
I don't think you are. I think equity is leveling the playing field so then everyone can reach an equal opportunity.
Okay, so let's run through an example. Like, how do we level the playing field?
The problem is that the example she's not going to be able to give. And look at that face. Look at that face. She's literally judging him for being male, white, and straight. She knows he's all these three things because he's the culmination of the oppressors. I mean, I don't know if Warren is also Christian. That would be like, if you're also, oh my gosh. That is the look of, oh my gosh, you're so stupid. You're so below me. 100%, guys. But she thinks she's the good guy. Unbelievable.
I'm a firefighter, volunteer firefighter, so let's use that as an example. If there's not enough of a specific skin color in the fire department, how do we fix that without being racist?
It's also just reaching out to demographics who don't...
That's advertising.
It's advertising, yes.
That's not equity.
It's making sure those people that feel comfortable joining.
It's making sure those people get hired instead of the person who may be more qualified because they have the wrong skin color. How does she think that she's outsmarting him? Unbelievable.
A group like firefighters.
So because mentally we have this column of advertising. We're trying to put that aside and understand equity though. Right. Because you're advocating for DEI, right?
Yes.
He does a really great job of creating an example and a landscape, I think, for her to work in. And you can see how she immediately tries to skirt the issue.
Yep.
And instead of allowing her to skirt the issue, he goes, okay, let's set aside the thing that you just said that is irrelevant to the topic we're talking about.
Exactly. We want to reach people over there. Yeah, great. Reach. Bring the CV. Bring the freaking resume. And then let's see who's more qualified, you muppet.
And get back to the topic that we're talking about. It is okay to advertise or market being a firefighter to all different types of communities, all different types of genders, sexual orientations, races. It's another thing to control the outcome of who becomes a firefighter. If I say 25% of our firefighting team has to be Black, I have then controlled the outcome with something like equity, which
is unjust.
Is not equal opportunity. Equality and equal opportunity would be everybody can show up and we will judge you based on your credentials, not on your background, your sexual orientation, your gender. And
isn't it insane that what they ended up doing is, so if the system is broken, or was broken, should I say, for instance, in the 50s, you're like, hey, but I'm qualified. Yeah, but you're Black, so we don't want you. That was the situation, right? And it's objectively morally wrong. How do you fix a wrong with another? Two wrongs don't make a right. You're doing the same thing in reverse. It's ridiculous. How about, no, because that was really that simple. It would have been like, guys, your skin color doesn't matter. Come on in. Where are you from? We're Native American, Australian, Italian, French, German, white American, all of this. Sit down. Black American, sit down. All right, what experience do you have? Oh, good, you were a cop for 3 years. Great. What about you? That's how it's. Oh, you speak 3 languages. Oh, we can use this in this section, for instance. No, it's like too many whites. too many. Are you straight? No, sorry.
If you make it to be a firefighter, then so be it. We've judged you all equally. So these things cannot exist at the same time, which is what she is heavily arguing for right now by, again, not addressing the topic at hand. He's very nicely handing her the shovel to dig her own grave.
True.
Okay, so.
But she won't realize it, which is even more infuriating.
Let's keep watching.
Yes.
Okay, so can you get into the DEI portion of it beyond advertising?
Just that, like, everyone is equal of a. I don't really understand what you're asking.
Keep in mind, this is someone who has already graduated college. I doubt she has ever been challenged on this ever before.
It's opening up these doors for everyone so we don't have to get to a point where that is an issue.
Can we get specific though? What does it mean opening up the doors without lowering standards?
It's allowing people to understand that everyone is welcome and bridging.
Everyone is welcome. He asks you about standards, for crying out loud. It's your first language, you clown. You Denisovan.
And bridging the gap. Advertising. I agree with you on that aspect. I think that's part of it. It's showing off
What's the
that
other
you're.
part, though?
What do you mean?
This will happen when you talk to a one person. That happened when you spoke to me a few years back. They will speak to you about their policy prescriptions in these just open terms. I'm trying to open the door for everybody. I'm trying to make everybody feel welcome. I'm trying to make sure that everybody is equally respected.
And when you ask, how are you doing it? Then what do you mean?
Everybody feels good in the space, that everybody knows that they can come to the space. None of that speaks to the actual effect of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is segregation, discrimination, and racism, among a slew of other problematic
and injustice
things.
And lowering of standards.
So, yes, it's great to make people feel welcome. It's great to give people an opportunity. It's great to open a door, but you're not actually facing the very thing that you're advocating for, because that's not what DEI is.
How do you get equal outcome?
By making sure the standards are the same, by making sure everyone feels welcome and is trained the same way. That has nothing to do. DEI has nothing to do with standards.
She just said it's about standards. Is she on something? Or is she actually that stupid? Is the IQ really that low? How did she even how did she even graduate? Of course she graduated. It's just repeat like a parrot, and we give it this.
You just said making sure everyone is trained the same way.
Yes.
How is that DEI?
That's just basic hiring.
Right. That's my point. Is it's not DEI.
Yeah.
So can you explain to me DEI?
DEI is making sure everyone feels welcome.
DEI is making sure everyone feels welcome. You know why she consistently continues to repeat this parroted message, which is what she heard from her professor? Because, of course, there is no automatic thing. Like, she doesn't create any of these sentences. It's because this way they can try to manipulate your emotions. You're like, oh, but you want people to feel welcome, right? And you're like, yeah, okay, then you agree with us, DEI. That's how it is. Because if they say it for what it truly is, then people might start thinking, I don't know, though. I mean, what about the qualifications? I mean, this guy studied his whole life. Why are we rejecting him on the basis of skin, ethnicity, which is what DEI is? But they can't say that, because if they say it, a lot of people will still accept it because, I mean, self-loathing whites will say we can't wait for the eradication of our race. The people that are at that level of indoctrination and radicalization will accept anything. But there might be plenty that won't. So to avoid that, you work on the emotions. It's the same thing they do with illegal immigrants, by the way. They try to work on the emotion. Oh, but we want everyone to feel welcome. It's a beautiful thing. While they don't want the white person to feel welcome, though. So how is everyone? It's not everyone, is it?
And secure, and that you're not.
DEI is just making people feel welcome.
It's making sure everyone has the equal opportunity to apply to something. Everyone has the equal opportunity to get hired.
That'd be equality.
Which we have. We're already there. That would be equality. And you'll find yourself talking to leftists about equity and equality. And you just check how many times people are actually getting these two words mixed up. Because if you're actually concerned with equality, equal opportunity, everybody being able to apply, everybody being judged on their applications and whether or not they meet a standard rather than skin color, sexual orientation, yada, 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 that is equality, not the controlling of outcomes, which is equity. And so often people do not know the difference between these two phrases or words.
And they don't care, because if you look at the guidelines of the University of Waterloo in Canada, one of the things that they are now saying is that you should not say minority groups, like minorities. There are some minorities living in this city. No, they changed it into equity-deserving groups so that you can become the vector of their doctrine. Whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant to them. If you call them every single time, could you imagine writing an essay for a university like that, let alone a thesis? When you're like writing it every single time, you have to say equity-deserving groups in this city require a different outcome when it comes to hiring environment. So these equity-deserving groups should be because the equity-deserving groups.
It's not DEI. DEI means something very specific.
Exactly.
Equity means something different than equality. That's why we have different words for both of them.
Okay.
The equal ability to become a firefighter.
Yes.
But that's not equity.
Okay.
Okay. So do you think DEI now, if we look at it through this lens, do you think pushing for equal outcomes might be a flawed process?
I still don't think so.
Equity.
You still don't think. You could remove the so from that sentence. I still don't think. Yeah, we noticed that.
Means equality of outcome. No one can explain to me how you're going to achieve that without being, by definition, racist.
Oh, he's getting come on, guys. Even him, he's getting a little frustrated, like me.
The only response she can offer is to change the very definition of racism.
And that's absolutely true. And we've seen it happen. Again, I'll mention in the job market, we've seen it happen in colleges. We've seen it happen in the entertainment industry. When you prioritize people of a certain background, you are inherently discriminating against others. You are being racist. You're not checking to make sure whether or not people are meeting certain standards. You have an obligation then to represent a certain type of group to a certain extent, which is discriminatory.
Yes.
But I don't think she's ever going to admit that. I think there's a little bit of pride in this moment. Maybe
A little bit.
down the line, she will face the fact on the difference between these two things.
You can debate the language and you can confuse people with how you debate the language. I just think fighting for everyone to have equal rights, equal
You do know everyone includes white people, though, and Christians, so that's the thing.
opportunities, making sure that playing field is equality and equity go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other.
Now, she just accused him of trying to confuse the language and using
Say the people who tell you what is a woman, they can't respond. And then they tell you body type A, body type B. Then they don't know. They freak out. They go body type 1, body type 2. But because why? Because B is after A, so which one do we make it? It's but we are confusing the language.
semantic tricks to win this argument, when in reality, that is what she's doing. She is changing the definition of words.
Exactly.
She is skirting the issue. She is not addressing the distinction between equality and equity. And then
How do you know she identifies as a she, though?
she just reverses it on him and says that you're the one who's actually confusing the language. No, he's attempting over and over again to achieve some sort of clarity
Exactly, specific definition of terms. But it's a problem for her. She has to cloud it.
as to what you mean when you say you support diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, she's the champion of the Redditors. They probably love her.
And she provides no clarity whatsoever. Just that's the way it is. And okay, when he tries to define terms.
Okay, so
You know what's funny? When I imitate her, I parrot her. Okay, I parrot her. Yeah, I actually do it well, in the sense that I become extremely obnoxious. But when Amala tries, she still sounds nice. Sorry, Amala, you failed. That was not condescending in any way, shape, or form. That sounded very cute, very nice. Like, oh, she's adorable. That's not how you do it. It's, okay.
words mean specific things, that we have two different words because they mean
Yes.
different. It's not like a word game, right? Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Okay, so if they go hand in hand, but can you explain what's the difference between equity versus equality?
Good luck with
Equity
that.
is making sure that, so let's say equality is just kind of giving everyone the same opportunity. Equity is everyone has the same opportunity, but you might not have access to that opportunity because of obstacles in your way. So everyone has access to apply to a job. Not everyone can, let's take colleges. Everyone has access to apply to colleges. Not everyone can afford the application fee. Not everyone can afford a college counselor to make sure they get in. Not everyone can afford tuition,
Not everyone is white.
loans, etc., etc.
Socioeconomic.
Equity, yes.
I agree
Equity
with you. It's like
is
scholarships not applied on race.
yes.
Your
Exactly.
socioeconomic status.
You can see her face change. As soon as I say not applied on race, she's like, wait,
What do you mean? This is all about race.
Hold up. To her, the important component is skin color. You can't take that out of the equation.
True.
And this is where she starts to get upset.
So like my students, I used to be a teacher. My students taught students that came from like nothing. And the problem with equity is that it's only applying that socioeconomic advantage based on skin color because they're saying this group, because a group
I
skin
disagree.
color is underrepresented.
But it's the truth. What the fuck are you disagreeing with?
As someone who just graduated and went through the scholarship opportunity,
Oh, someone who just graduated. Man, I swear, left-wing elitism pisses me off so much because in theory they're supposed to be the ones about the proletariat, class struggle, the poor, the people who are the lowest rung. But then whenever and the right is about status quo, yeah, right. But then the moment it's favorable to them, you would have been kicked out from this class, from this advanced study thing, because you don't have the intelligence. You're not educated enough. You're below me. Like this. What?
there's opportunities, specific scholarships for people of color, for Italians, which I am, which I don't consider.
Don't say that. Don't you ever say that ever again. We reject you. We reject you. Rejected. There's nothing Italian about you. Zero. This is an Italian, not this.
Consider myself an oppressed class, people of color, for Italians, which I am, which I don't consider myself an oppressed class.
Why? Because your skin. All about skin. Because, I mean, if I remember right, you know about the lynching of Italians that happened. But who cares, right? Oppressed oppressor. That's the problem, by the way, with oppressed oppressor class. You can get out of it. So even if you are like, oh no, but I'm included in the oppressed category because I'm a whatever the heck. Yeah, right. Now you are. But with Marxist ideologies, that changes. And so today you may laugh, but your children. So if for once you're not selfish and you think about someone else in your life, how about thinking for a world like Martin Luther King Jr. said, doctor, where people are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the contents of their character. That is the world that we need to leave to our children, not this. Because even though you may be in the oppressed class right now, there's no guarantee. I mean, look at the Japanese. They're Asian in theory, and yet now they're already being named white adjacent. I give it 1 year, considering the current right-wing nationalist party in power, in general traditional values that the Japanese have. Give it a year, 2 maybe. They'll be treated as oppressor class. Instead, the oppressed class are going to be the Islamic Muslims that are going to try to enter Japan, and then the leftists will be schooling Japanese on why it's wrong for them to not want 50 million immigrants.
There's scholarships for low-income people. Every single demographic, there is a way to give a boost up for.
So I guess I'm just curious. I don't understand why we break people down into groups based on race.
We shouldn't.
Just circling the drain on this particular topic.
Nice,
so she can
animation.
admit that we shouldn't be separating people based on race. We shouldn't be judging people based on race. She then advocates that we do exactly that with diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Right.
This is the never-ending loop that you will end up in with a leftist. I was in it as a leftist, and you will just always find your way back to that center point from which you started, because you can go through mental gymnastics all day long in this framework to get back there again.
Not to mention, the moment you start losing, you can just pull out the card. Oh, so you're racist. Are you saying you don't want to see people of color who are struggling to get a job? Is that what you're saying? And so that's it.
It is truly never ending. And kudos to him for continuing to attempt to have this conversation with her as you're not.
Man, if she told me she told me so I'm Italian. She told me that. You know what I would have said? I would have switched. Ah, sei italiana? Bene, allora parliamo un po' in italiano. Spiegami sta cazzo di in italiano. Vai, vediamo come parla, vai. Sono qua, dice che sei italiana, parla. Dov'è sei italiano? Vediamo, sentiamo se italiano. Sentiamo se italiano, vai. Sto aspettando ancora che non parli. La apri o la chiudi sta fogna di bocca che ti trovi?
Not really getting anywhere.
But that's where we always have been. The whole point of, I guess, is to level that. It's to make it so we get to a point where those groups don't matter. But right now, for bad people, they matter. So we have to overcorrect it to make it an even playing field to then eventually down the year down the line, everyone is exactly equal. No one needs an extra boost because they haven't been disenfranchised.
Just an amazing way to view the world. It is utterly black and white. And I say black and white, I guess pun intended, because that's how they're looking at people of certain races. And that's how they're grouping people together. And she's done it time and time again in this conversation.
Yeah, but note how Italians are not oppressed class. So, I mean, I don't know.
She's literally saying this is the case because there are good people and there are bad people, and bad people want to judge based on race. So good people must judge based on race to level the playing field of the bad people who want to judge based on race. College graduate and reporter. And I don't want to come down too hard on this girl. I admire her for...
You? Come down too hard. You've seen nothing. I just called it. That's a litany of a veritable cornucopia. There you go, for the educated woman. Am I right? A veritable cornucopia of insults in multiple languages. I'll do it in Mandarin as well. Where is she? Where the heck is she? Nisha, I'll do it in Japanese. Baka da yo ne. Baka daro. Baka da yo ne. Anything else? Any other language? But for now, that's good.
Her for sitting down and attempting to have the conversation. But is she truly attempting to have the conversation?
No, she's not. So please don't praise her.
When he's time and time again meeting her with points that completely cancel out what she just said, and she's not willing to meet him where he's at or where he's taking her.
I run into it, and I appreciate you having this.
You know, I'm just going to say, when I see someone like this, so condescending, so annoying, so arrogant, Warren is fantastic, but sometimes I kind of want to see Nick Fuentes sitting on that chair. I'm telling you.
Conversation. I mean this honestly, because you just admitted that it's a bad thing what we're doing.
It's a bad thing what we were doing. I mean, previously when people weren't hired because of their race, because of their gender, because of their...
And so you're doing the same thing. Great.
So
sexual orientation.
I agree. Racism is bad, but I don't think implementing racism is... to get over racism is logical.
It's not racism. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this, and you can debate it. You can't be racist against white people. You can be prejudiced against white people. Racism.
And how does that excuse it, by the way, even if we were and we're not going to play your semantic games? How does that excuse it, though? Because being prejudiced towards someone is a derogatory sentiment that would not be made okay only because you decided to disqualify the term racism. What?
Implies a power imbalance that white people have the advantage over.
Oh, okay, so basically if we go to China, right, and a white person starts being racist towards the Chinese, it's fine though, it's not racist because they are not in power over there, am I right? So you think about it. Let's go to Congo, where from Nolan's Odyssey is from, Helen of Congo. We go to Congo, and then who's in power there? Black people. All right, so I could say whatever, the N-word 15 times a day. It's not racist because it's not systemic. What an imbecile.
We're back to this. Racism has a power dynamic in it. It has a systemic structure, and therefore you cannot be racist towards white people. Never mind the fact that it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's got the colors of a duck, it's a horse. That's where we're going with this conversation over and over. Even though you can look at college applications and see that Black people are meeting lower standards, yet getting in at higher rates than, say, Asians or whites based on diversity, equity, inclusion. We can look at the media and see that people of color are overwhelmingly being represented relative to their population size, and that white people are being discriminated against actively by all different studios and agencies. Doesn't matter. Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a horse, guys. It's a horse. Look at the job market. Look at places like Coca-Cola, these massive corporations who are...
Coca-Cola. Did you see the whole scandal about not being able to write Jesus? And maybe I should cover that, actually, now that I think about it. It's been a while, though, right? It's been a few weeks, which is basically the Mesolithic period in internet times.
Trying to train their employees to be less white. Look at the Smithsonian Museum that is coming out with an exhibit on white supremacy and all the different extensions of it in our modern culture here in America. All of these things are part of DEI. They are racist. They look exactly like the Jim Crow South of our past. But no, because white people have power and privilege, language, you can't be racist towards them whatsoever. And let's remember again, she accused him earlier of confusing the language and changing words in order for it to meet his narrative.
Unbelievable.
You can't, so it's, where'd you learn that?
That's any bullying, any kind of form of, it's about a power imbalance. It's punching up versus punching down. Where did I learn that? I went to school, I went to university.
Ah. Well, maybe you should have chosen a subject that actually taught you something real. Ever thought of that? Like, I think it would have been so much, like, you could have become a rocket scientist. Wouldn't that have been so much better advancing the development of our species?
I read, I do research.
I thought racism was treating people differently based upon the color of their skin.
I mean, on the very basics, yes, but there is the aspect of it.
You can't be racist unless there's a power.
Because it's the same thing with bullying. It's like, it's punching up versus punching down.
Why do we have a different word for racism versus bullying?
Because racism is bullying on the impression of race.
So it is race. It's not. So you can be racist against a specific.
When there is a bully, you have a small guy and a big guy. Even if that small guy is trying to bully the big guy, there is not that same power imbalance.
Again.
But it's the bullying, though. Like, this is the stupidity. So what does bullying mean? I'm just going to do it. Sorry, Amala, but I'm just going to do it. So, right. Bullying, what does it mean? It means that you go and you harass this person because you think it's fun and funny and whatever. Okay, so that's bullying. Fantastic. Big guy is harassing this smaller guy. What is he doing? He is bullying him. Power dynamic. Smaller guy starts harassing the other guy. He is bullying him. She even used the same term. So they're both forms of bullying. It's just that, yeah, most likely that the small guy against the big guy, but I don't know, maybe he's got a knife. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Maybe he's got like friends with him. Maybe it's more than him. It's multiple small guys. I mean, but it's all bullying. That's the same. It's all racism, but some is systemic, some is not systemic. There is lots of different types of racism. It's all racism, though.
Back to these very simplistic structures that we view.
Like, really, I can't stop. Like, can you imagine, like, at school, you've got a guy, and he's smaller, and then you've got the big guy, but he's a good guy, very well-tempered, instead the smaller guy. This happens a lot, by the way. Yeah, he's a little shorter, but man, this guy smoking cigarettes at 13 years old, like, really completely different. And you imagine, like, the bigger guy, maybe a little fat, he's sitting, and he's trying to eat his cupcake, not EDP, though. He's trying to eat this cupcake, and then the smaller guy comes in, flips the cupcake, and is like, "Oh, why don't you eat it now, dirty mouth?" It's not bullying, though.
The world in good, bad, big guy, small guy, white, black, power, no power, oppressor, oppressed.
Right.
Every single time you talk to a left.
I love it how everything is ironic, how everything is binary in their worldview, except for sex. Gender. That one is not. Don't really think about it. Oppressed, oppressor, male and female, women, men, bully, not bully, racist, not racist. Like, everything is binary except some reasons for gender, in which case it's not. It's binary, non-binary, which is still a binary concept.
I think you will land somewhere in there in the way that they view everything that's taking place in the world. Now, when asked where she learned all this, it's very telling. She says, from a place of really educational superiority, where did I learn this? I went to school. I researched. I read, implying that those who believe anything different probably didn't go to school, or if they did, they didn't go to the right school and they didn't receive the proper education. And it's really a tell that this is becoming inherent to the American education system. True. If you're going to a higher education institution, by and large, you are going to be spoon-fed this sort of information and this very simplistic view of the world that is quite literally, I think, rotting our brain.
True, because it's not just simplistic, it's dangerous. This is dangerous. It creates the same minds that laughed at Charlie Kirk's death. That's what it is, guys. Just gonna say it. Anyways, I don't think I can stomach it anymore, but thank you, Amala, you're awesome. And thank you to Warren. And really appreciate it, and thank every one of you. And I'm a mess. Goodness gracious, I gotta go to sleep. It's late. Good night. Ciao.